So any work could be reviewed. You can review a book, a movie, a journalistic work, that is articles, opinion articles, editorials and all that. You can review music, you can review works of art like paintings, drawings, sculptural works. You can review even architectural works. The fact is that a basic feature of critical reviewing is that it involves a finished work. A book, an article has to be finished. You don't review a book that is not yet published. You don't review a movie that is not yet finished and released. What are you going to review when the process is not complete? So it involves a finished work, and you are examining, assessing, or evaluating that particular work. Again, you must note that critical reviewing is not one-sided. That is important. It is not one-sided, and it is research-based. If you are reviewing action movie, for instance, you need to do a little research on action movies to understand what is expected in the movie. You are reviewing an epic movie or a gangster film, you need to do a review to understand the expectations in a gangster movie, so that you won't be reviewing it as if you are reviewing a comedy film. So it involves a bit of research to make it in-depth and then rich. It's also a process. You don't just pick a work and then start writing. There's a process. And what is that process? There is basic research. You have to do some kind of research. If you are told to review educational text, you do a research. What do we expect from educational texts? If you are told to review Afro hip hop song, you need to do research. What do we expect from Afro hip hop songs? And then you provide some critical questions that you're going to ask while appreciating the work, while watching a movie, while reading a book. You provide critical questions. You put down the questions that you're going to be asking yourself while reading a book or while watching a movie. That's why we said it is critical. It is not just sitting down to watch a movie. That's the casual eye you're using. But if you're using the critical eye, then the process has to be critical. You have a lineup of questions that you're going to be using, just like taking an exam. You use those questions to examine the work, and then you seek answers while appreciating the work. That's why we say it is an examination of a work. You use those questions to assess the work, and then the answers will tell you about the work and give you the results that you present in your review. And then you now examine the work. If it is a particular episode of Game of Thrones, then you watch that. Or you want to read a book, probably Diary of a Wimpy Kid, or you want to read Chinua Achebe's There Was a Country, you must have put down some critical questions you'll be asking. What is the message behind this book? You keep asking yourself those critical questions. Those questions are going to help you to examine the work objectively, to look beyond the surface of any work you are reviewing. If it's a movie, you keep asking yourself, what are the elements and how were they used? The elements, maybe in terms of lighting, in terms of plot, in terms of characterization, how were they used? You have to put down critical questions that will help you appreciate the work. The critical questions guide the critical reviewer in appreciating the work, because it now helps you to bring out the facts that you're going to use to write the review. Now, after examining the work, you now write the review. There are parts of a review: the head, the neck, the body, and then the legs. That's the conclusion. So that the audience reading the work will understand it perfectly. You structure the review properly so that it's going to make sense to whoever is reading it, and then you review your review. After writing the review, you have to reread what you've written down so that you don't make the same mistakes that you pointed out in the works of others. That's what it means by reviewing the review. So you are actually assessing yourself. Don't ever fail to reread whatever you've written. Don't ever fail to reread what you have written, because there are errors. You can't be writing a review and somebody reading the review you're writing is seeing errors, either grammatical errors or errors in terms of paragraph transition, sentence construction. That wouldn't be good for a reviewer. And then you may make the wrong facts or even wrongly attribute comments in the work to the wrong sources. That is why you need to review your review to be sure that at least you have done your best in presenting what is right and what is professional. So quickly, we look at the structure of a review. Remember, we said you first do basic research and then critical questions, and then you appreciate the work and then write the review. Writing the review is an important aspect. The review has different parts. Just bear that in mind, that a critical review has different parts. So whenever you're told to write the review, remember the head, the neck, the body, and the legs. Unlike the article, like journalistic article, maybe feature article or even opinion article or even a news story where the head is the title of the work or the caption of the story, the head here in the critical writing is different. The head is different from what you find in other journalistic works. The head refers to preliminary information about the work. We're talking about the author of the book, the year of publication, the number of pages, where it was published. That's the head for a book review. Then for a song, you're talking about the artist involved, the album title, song title, duration of the song, maybe number of minutes. That is what you're talking about. The head, preliminary information. You provide that so that somebody who is reading your review, who probably may not have even seen the movie or read the book, will have a nice perspective of where you're taking them to. For a movie, you're talking about the names of the key actors, their real names and their names in the movie. You're talking about the director, the year of release, the duration of the movie. You're talking about the genre or category of the movie. So the head is preliminary information about the work. The neck is the first paragraph. Very essential because the neck is the bridge between the head and the main work. And it is the first paragraph of the work. Very essential because it is what now excites the reader and makes them want to read further. That is why they call it the neck. The first paragraph is very essential. Now, the neck also contains the thesis statement. That is often the last line of the first paragraph or that neck. Now, the neck, we call it the first paragraph. Some others may even extend the neck to the second paragraph, but basically the neck, as somebody learning how to write critical review, just restrict your neck to the first paragraph. And at the end of that first paragraph, you give your thesis statement. That is a one-sentence summary of your position about whatever work you are reviewing, which you're going to defend within the work. If you think this work is flawed, that is what you present in the thesis statement, the last line. If you think this work is very nice, that is what you're now going to bring points to defend within the body of the work. Then the next part is the body of the work. Here you can call it the abdomen. The body of the work, that is where you now present the good aspect of the work in a few paragraphs, then the flaws of the work in a paragraph or two, and then the legs, that is the concluding part of the work, where you now make your submission again and then make your recommendations about the work. Again, we said the abdomen, that is the body of the work. You present the two sides of the coin. If the work is good, you present that the good aspects of the work, make some quotations from the work, and then you also present the flaws of the work, and then as you're pointing them out, you have to be referring to the work. That's what makes the review lively. You refer to the work. If it's a movie, you mention the characters. This character, that character did this. If it's a book, you can mention the pages. If it's an academic text, you can even mention the chapters, and then you make your points clear by backing them up with either paraphrased references to the work or even verbatim quotations. That's the body of the work. Just remember that there are two sides of the coin. Even if you think the work is so good, there has to be an aspect that you think is not very well done. You present it in your review, and then the concluding aspect of the review. You conclude the review by presenting a summary of the analysis you've done, and then presenting your submission about the work again, and then making suggestions on how the work could be improved. So again, we go over the structure of the review. You have the head, which deals with preliminary information about the work, the who, the what, the where, and the when of the work. You have the neck, which is the introductory aspect of the work, where you make a general statement or your opening comments about the work. You do a summary of the book here, or a summary of the movie. That is also a tasking aspect of the work. This is where you summarize whatever you're going to review. If it is a book, you summarize the book here in a few lines. Just pick out the basic theme or the basic plot and mention it here. And that's also where you present your thesis statement, which is a one-sentence summary of the reviewer's position about the work. Of course, you move next to the body, which is where you interpret the work, which is where you present the two sides of the coin. You make your key observations and arguments in the work. You present the strengths and weaknesses of the work in the body. The arguments that support your thesis statement, you present them in the body. You try to make the work lively by using quotations, paraphrasing citations where necessary. This adds life to the work. And then the legs. This is where you conclude. You present a one-sentence summary of the review. and then the reviewer's position on the work. This is where you also present it again. The position you presented in the beginning, which you've defended in the work, you come here and present it again, and then you make suggestions on possible ways to improve on the work. Now take a look at this example. You will see where we have the head. The head, we said, is preliminary information about the work, the who, the what, the when, and the where of the work. Now the head differs for various work. We have said if it is for book, you're talking about the title of the book, author, year of publication, publisher, number of pages, the genre, and the reviewer's name. The reviewer's name is always the last aspect of the head. Now you have here, if you look at this, you will see the book title, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This edition is Wrecking Ball. That's why we put it in brackets. The author is Jeff Kinney. This edition was published in 2019, London, place of publication. The publisher is Puffin Books, number of pages 217, and then the reviewer's name is Emeka Madubuko. This is the head of this work. For music, you're talking about the song title, the artist, the genre of the music, that is the category of the music, whether it is Afro hip hop, R&B, whether it is classical music, whether it is gangster rap. Now you have the album title, duration of the music. It could be a music video that you're reviewing. You could have producer, director, record label, year of release, and of course the reviewer's name. So here we have a song that we're reviewing. We have the song title, Thunder. The artist is Kiddy. It is a hip-hop song. That's the category of song. The song title is Thunder. The album title is Thunder. Duration 3 minutes 18 seconds. Producer Kiddy. Director Rex. Record label Rex Entertainment. Year of release 2018. Reviewer John Okafor. John Okafor.